Have you ever set a goal but struggled to stick to it? Maybe you started working out, reading daily, or eating healthier, only to fall back into old habits. You start strong, full of motivation, but after a few days or weeks, life gets in the way. And suddenly, you're back where you started. It feels frustrating, like you're stuck in an endless loop of trying and failing. But what if the problem isn't you? What if the secret to lasting change isn't about willpower or motivation at all? In this video, we'll break down the key lessons from Atomic Habits and show you how tiny changes can lead to massive results. We'll explore the psychology behind behavior change, why small habits matter more than big goals, and the exact strategies you can use to build good habits, break bad ones, and make lasting progress. By the end of this video, you'll have the tools you need to take control of your habits and, ultimately, your future. The power of Atomic Habits. Habits are like compound interest for self-improvement. Just as small financial investments grow exponentially over time, tiny daily actions, whether positive or negative, accumulate and determine your future. If you improve just 1% every day, that doesn't seem like much in the moment. But over a year, those tiny improvements add up to being 37 times better than where you started. On the other hand, if you decline by just 1% daily, the opposite happens. You slowly spiral into decline. This concept is powerful because it highlights the importance of consistency. People often assume success comes from big, dramatic changes. But in reality, it's the small, seemingly insignificant choices that make the biggest difference. Skipping one workout won't make you out of shape, just like going to the gym once won't make you fit. But over time, the tiny decisions you make, whether to read for 5 minutes, drink more water, or take the stairs instead of the elevator, accumulate and shape the person you become. The key lesson here is that small, consistent actions matter more than occasional bursts of intensity. Instead of focusing on drastic transformations, shift your focus to daily progress. The key to success isn't found in huge goals, but in tiny, daily improvements that lead to compounding results. Once you embrace this mindset, everything changes. The habit loop, how habits work. All habits, whether good or bad, follow the same pattern: cue, craving, response, and reward. Understanding this cycle is the first step to mastering your habits and making real change. The cue is the trigger that initiates a habit. It could be something as simple as seeing a bag of chips on the counter or feeling stressed at work. Cues spark cravings, which is the second step in the loop. The craving is the desire or urge to act based on the cue. If you see a cookie, you might crave something sweet. If you feel stressed, you might crave a cigarette or a drink. Cravings lead to the response, which is the actual action you take. This could mean eating the cookie, lighting a cigarette, or opening social media for a dopamine hit. Finally, every habit ends with a reward, which reinforces the habit loop. The satisfaction you feel after eating the cookie or the stress relief after smoking makes your brain want to repeat the behavior. The reason habits are so hard to break is that this loop runs on autopilot. Every time you complete the cycle, it strengthens the neural pathways in your brain, making the habit easier to repeat. This is why bad habits feel automatic, and breaking them feels like an uphill battle. The good news is that if you understand how habits work, you can hack the loop to your advantage. If you want to build better habits, you need to make the cues for good habits obvious, increase the craving for positive behaviors, make the action easy to perform, and make the reward satisfying. Likewise, if you want to break bad habits, you need to make their cues invisible, weaken the craving, increase friction for the response, and make the reward unsatisfying. By learning how to manipulate the habit loop, you can take control of your behaviors and build a system that works for you, rather than against you. The 4 laws of behavior change. The first law of behavior change is to make it obvious. If you want to build a habit, it needs to be clearly visible in your daily routine. One of the best ways to do this is through habit stacking, where you attach a new habit to an existing one. For example, if you want to develop a reading habit, you could say, after I brush my teeth, I will read 1 page of a book. This method works because your brain already recognizes the first action as part of your routine, making it easier to attach a new behavior to it. On the other hand, if you're trying to break a bad habit, you need to make the cue invisible. If you snack too much on junk food, don't keep it in the house. If social media is a distraction, remove notifications or place your phone in another room. The second law is to make it attractive. Humans are naturally driven by rewards and pleasure, so pairing a necessary habit with something enjoyable can increase the chances of sticking with it. For instance, if you love watching Netflix but struggle to exercise, make a rule that you can only watch your favorite shows while walking on the treadmill. By associating a habit with something pleasurable, you build positive reinforcement. To break a bad habit, however, you must make it unattractive. If you struggle with overspending, start tracking every purchase. Seeing the actual numbers can create enough discomfort to change your spending behavior. The third law is to make it easy. The key to long-term habit formation isn't about how big the action is, it's about how simple it is to start. If a habit feels effortless, you're more likely to stick with it. Instead of committing to a full hour at the gym, start with 2 minutes of movement. Once the habit is ingrained, you can build on it naturally. Conversely, to break a bad habit, you need to increase friction. If you want to stop mindlessly scrolling through social media, log out every time you use an app or delete it from your phone entirely. The fourth law is to make it satisfying. People are more likely to repeat behaviors that provide an immediate sense of progress or reward. Tracking habit streaks is an effective way to build motivation. Seeing visual proof of progress, such as marking off completed days on a calendar, encourages consistency. If you want to break a habit, make it unsatisfying. One of the best ways to do this is through accountability. Tell a friend about your goal and have them check in with you. Knowing someone else is holding you accountable makes it much harder to quit. The identity shift, the key to lasting change. Most people set goals based on results, but real, lasting change happens when you shift your identity. Instead of saying, I want to lose weight, start thinking, I am a healthy person. When your habits align with your identity, they become effortless. Your brain naturally resists behaviors that contradict how you see yourself, which means identity-driven habits are more likely to stick. A powerful example of this is reading. If you tell yourself, I want to read more, you're setting a goal that may feel like an obligation. But if you say, I am a reader, reading becomes part of who you are. Your actions will naturally follow this new belief, making it easier to maintain the habit over time. The key takeaway here is that your habits should reinforce the identity you want to build. When you focus on becoming the type of person who consistently does the behavior you want, the results will follow automatically. True transformation happens when habits are no longer just actions, but a reflection of who you are. What's one habit you're going to start today? Let me know in the comments. If you found this helpful, don't forget to like and subscribe for more videos on personal growth. Thanks for watching, and see you next time!